15. Milwaukee had won 5 in a row, but that ends tonight at Intuit. The Bucks shot 88% from the free throw line, 15% better than their season average. The Clippers with a season low, 7 turnovers. They get 24 second chance points on a team that averaged allowing 12 a night. And James Harden goes takeover in the third and late in the fourth to propel the Clippers to a victory where they improve to 7 games above 500 as they win the week 3-2. Adam Oslin will talk about where this game ranks among the best wins of the season. Your Clippers beat the Bucks by double digits at Intuit. Talk to you in a few. Daniel West, take us away for Big Brother Jake Warner, Chris Taylor, Carlo Jimenez saying so long from Intuit. Clippers get the win over Milwaukee on your Clippers Audio Network.
Not only do I think this was their best victory, I think that was James Harden's best game as a Clipper.
I don't disagree.
100%.
A regular season, at least. Obviously, the float goat stuff against Dallas was huge, but
yeah.
This was the most impactful 40 ball.
40.
Welcome in, Clipper Nation. And welcome to your biggest victory of the season. Carlo, the Bucks had the longest winning streak in the NBA at this time, right?
I believe it was the longest active, yeah. I mean, that when you consider the Bucks doing so many, like the free throws they made in that game, 30 of them?
Guys, Milwaukee had an all-time free throw shooting percentage tonight on volume.
I mean, absurd.
30 of 34. Giannis ended up going 12 of 15.
58% on the year.
Like it was game. It got hard. Carlo was hot.
I was not. The
Eventually,
law of averages and I have beef, bro. We have beef.
Pull up then. I mean, you got him with the broadcaster's jinx eventually.
Well, you teed me up. We had to we both doubled down. That's what happened.
Guys, those 15 straight points from James Harden when Kawhi Leonard went out of the game and they're down by 5 in the third, that's an all-timer. That is his best regular season performance as a Clipper right there. How about Norman Powell? Y'all said he can't do it against good defenses. Well, he had 33.
Second best defensively.
He had 14 of his 33 in the fourth.
What they talking about, baby?
They be talking nonsense.
3-2 on the week. That's a win now.
Guys, that's all you could ask for. A win over the Lakers. They go 3-2. Incredible.
The Celtics don't shoot 8 for 15 in the fourth in overtime. You go 4-1.
I'm telling you, this was a playoff type of game tonight. And the Clippers answered the bell. Without Kawhi for what, the last 18 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Incredible. Norman Powell's an all-star.
Elite game by the booth. It's all this guy, baby.
It's all Carlo.
Nah.
It's all Big Bro.
It's all Big Bro, really.
It's all Chris Taylor.
Chris Taylor.
Well, the buck stops here, as does their winning streak at Intuit Dome. The Clippers took down the team with the longest active winning streak in the NBA. It was 5 straight. That's over. They beat the Milwaukee Bucks 127-117 here at Intuit Dome. Welcome into your Clippers postgame show. I'm Adam Osland as the Clippers go 3-2 while having 5 games in 7 days. Coming up, second half highlights, your postgame box score, and Clippers talk on AM 570 LA Sports. But right now, let's get to your radio voice of the Clippers in Carlo Jimenez. Carlo, I said it off the air, and I truly believe it. This was James Harden's best game as a Clipper, definitely in the regular season, not just a 40 ball. A 40 ball against this defense when Kawhi Leonard went out midway through the third quarter and he took over, incredible performance.
We're big about context here on Clippers Talk. We're not just going to look at the box score. Let's talk about context. Over the last 2 weeks, this had been the second best defense in the NBA. The Clippers were the first of the Milwaukee Bucks. James Harden cooked them tonight. The Clippers got 12 offensive rebounds, 24 points off those offensive rebounds. Milwaukee averaged 12 allowed per game. Just an incredible performance by the Beard, Adam. When you talk about, we spoke about it. They need somebody right now. James Harden had been the motor of the offense. Kawhi Leonard had been excellent, but where was the offense going to come from? It wasn't the three-point shooting of the Beard. It was the layups. It was the floaters. It was getting to the line. Clippers now 13-0 when he shoots 10 or more free throws. He goes 12 for 12. The Clippers go 26 for 26 from the line tonight. Just uber impressive stuff by the Clippers. 28 for 28. All things considered, I 100% agree with you. The 104th 40-point game for the Beard, no doubt the best in a Clipper uniform.
And a Clippers team that overcame adversity. Down 11 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
They lose Kawhi Leonard, of course, the minutes restriction midway through the third. Derrick Jones Jr. fouls out of this ball game. And they just find a way. But the tandem of James Harden and Norman Powell with 14 of his 33 points down the stretch, that's all-star level stuff from both of those guys when they needed it most against, as you mentioned, one of the best defenses in the league.
It really is for this Clipper team. I mean, you get 90-plus points from Leonard, Norm, and Harden tonight. That's going to win you a lot of ball games. Those three guys played excellently. And I felt like, Adam, in this game, it never felt like one was taking away from the other. I mean, their ability to be complementary in different facets of this game. Ivica Zubac with another double-double tonight, 12 points and 10 rebounds. I thought he was aggressive, but you mentioned Norman Powell. I mean, his ability to hit big shots. And also, I thought one of his best games creating his own shots. Felt like he had to do a lot off the dribble today. It wasn't swing, find Norm for a shot. It was Norm getting to the lane, navigating the defense, dodging defense. I mean, his ability to get downhill when Milwaukee is one of the best teams at the NBA at protecting the paint. We mentioned it pregame. They average allowing 45 points in the paint. That's third best in the NBA. And the Clippers had 58 tonight. They were 13 more than Milwaukee averages per night. The Clippers, against the Milwaukee Bucks' best strengths, won those battles and won this game and had a season low 7 turnovers tonight.
I feel like we didn't bring it up a lot during the broadcast, almost like we were scared of jinxing it.
Yes.
I feel like it's safe to say now they only had 7 turnovers in the ball game against one of the best defenses in the league. Milwaukee ended up with 13. And by the way, the Clippers turned that into 23 points. It's what they do.
It's what they do, Adam. Second in the NBA in points off turnovers per game, averaging 20. They match OKC's 23 per game with 23 tonight, turning defense to offense. So impressive by this team to speed it. We mentioned it pregame, but could you speed up the Milwaukee Bucks? They're a team that doesn't like to play in fast break. They don't like to score points off turnovers. They like to get Dame with the defense in front of him and Giannis coming on a pick and roll. And I thought the Clippers played so well, especially without Kawhi Leonard, on guarding that pick and roll. We talked about it off the air, but what does the defense look like? Because Kawhi was guarding Giannis pretty well through those first couple of stretches, but now he comes off the floor, one of your best defensive players. Kawhi Leonard really stood the test against a very good duo in Dame and Giannis, the highest scoring duo in the NBA, Adam, and the Clippers were able to take care of everybody else tonight. I mean, you look at Dame and Giannis, right? They combine in this one for 55 points. Gary Trent Jr. has 19, but he might have given up 30. And the Clippers don't allow Taurean Prince to have another 3 after the 9-minute mark of the second quarter. They really did a much better job of getting to the corners, closing out to defenders, and knocking down on this sharp-shooting Milwaukee Bucks team. A masterclass from Jeff Van Gundy defensively.
We talk about the Clippers' big 3, really a big 4 with Ivica Zubac in there as well, next to Norm, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard. But the other guys in the fourth quarter made some incredible plays.
Yep.
I'm talking about Derrick Jones Jr. with a putback tip in. I'm talking about Amir Coffey getting a tough offensive rebound and getting fouled. And Kevin Porter Jr. with the deflections and steals and getting back in transition defensively. This Clippers team, when they went small through the first, the first 7 or 8 minutes of the fourth quarter, without Big Zoo out there, no Mo Bamba tonight, they found a way to be scrappy and really rotate and give Giannis and the Bucks and Brook Lopez, especially early in the fourth quarter, a lot of problems.
They did. They did. They made things awfully tough on this offense for Milwaukee and made them fly around and were able to dominate the possession and the pace of this game. For this Clipper team, you're facing one of the best offenses in the league, Adam, and you outshoot them by 18, plus 18 on field goals. Now, some of that is the fact that Milwaukee shot 34 free throws, but still the Clippers shoot 28 of their own. That's very impressive for this Clipper team.
I thought I saw yesterday the Milwaukee Bucks are number one in defensive rebounding percentage.
Yeah.
The word I'm looking for.
5 and 7, baby.
And the Clippers beat them up.
Yeah.
The Clippers beat them up on the glass. And they ended up with 24 second chance points to just 13 for the Milwaukee Bucks. The Clippers almost doubled their average, just about there in second chance points in a ball game like this. So when they weren't shooting the ball well, and they were well under 40% at the half from the field, they found a way to get up 10 more shots in the first half because of the hustle and the energy they were supplying on the offensive rebounds.
Yeah, the ability to get downhill on the glass and attack that's not something that is a strong suit for this team, Adam, but I felt like they came in with an intent to do that today, and they executed that intent, able to earn extra opportunities. We saw Kawhi Leonard take advantage of some early, and just the ability. I mean, it's not when you get an offensive rebound, you're not playing against a set defense, right? And so they were able to get better shots because once you get the offensive rebound, Milwaukee's flying around. I thought it was impressive also, Adam. Milwaukee went to that 2-3 zone for multiple extended stretches in this game. The Clippers were able to pick it apart time and time again. And for Ty Lue, a big time win, just his 5th win against his mentor in Doc Rivers in their 14 matchups, I should say. But no doubt a very impressive one. He schemed up a great plan for the Clippers tonight. They executed that plan. There is not a blemish. Maybe the fouls. But outside of that, this might be the cleanest box score we have seen this season, Adam.
And let me add this. The Clippers had a couple of calls against the Boston Celtics go against them.
Yeah.
Tonight they had 2 calls where Giannis steps out of bounds on a layup.
Yeah.
The entire Clippers bench, the guys were out of their seat calling for it. And then they started the clock early on that James Harden 3-pointer on the ATO.
Yes.
That would have had him at 43.
43, yeah.
The Clippers contested it to no avail. They had 2 huge calls go against them. That's a 5-point swing right there. And they find a way to win this game by 10. Incredible.
I mean, there was no shortage of controversy. There was no shortage of tough plays in this game. And it felt like from the get-go, the Clippers were still able to fight through every piece of adversity they had tonight. Chris Taylor just passed me this note, Adam. The last time the Clippers had 2 starting guards score 30-plus, you have to go back to March 31st against OKC. Jamal Crawford, Austin Rivers, they both had 32. Norman Powell had 33 tonight. James Harden had 40 for this Clipper team. I think, and we talked about this in Hawaii, but I'm going to harken back to it. Defined roles mean success. There are defined roles with this Clipper team. Everyone does their job, as Nick Saban would say, at an elite level. The Clippers have role players starring in their roles. They have guys like Norman Powell and Ivica Zubac stepping up, playing like all-stars this season. They should be all-stars this season, and that has led to the success. Kawhi Leonard's played 7 games, and you are 7 games above 500.
And if you're a mathematician and need that translated, what he just said is addition by subtraction. Clippers win here at the Dome, 127-117 over the Milwaukee Bucks. I think their biggest victory of the season, all things considered. Coming up next here in your post-game show, we'll get to second half highlights. We're back with you on Monday. Why not make it a 6-game in 9-night stretch as the Clippers will be in Phoenix taking on the Suns. Tip time at 6:30. Pre-game show starting at 5:30. Carlo Jimenez, great call as always. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Talk to you Monday, Adam. Let's go.
Clippers win by 10 over the Bucks. 127-117 is your final. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks, Daniel.
Did you say thanks, Adam?
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks, Carlo. Are you happy, chat? How are we doing, chat? I see you guys in here. I gotta give Harlow a hug, though.
Go, baby. Oh. Come on, son. We killed that. Yes, sir. We killed that. We had some good back and forth.
bad moments, but we had some
good moments, and you had
some great
I forgot what close versus far is.
This is when you know you're getting good, where everything, you're just like, oh, what a perfect. Let's go! Chris Taylor, lead statistician right here. Clippers went 28 for 28 from the free throw line. Most free throws made in a game this season. Perfect. That Kawhi reverse layup in the third quarter. Chef's kiss. The behind the back against Dame and Giannis for the left-handed reverse. Nasty. And then he had a really good defensive possession against Giannis where he got him to miss. They called the foul. I was upset. I didn't say it at the time, but I can let it go now. Guys, this is the best victory of the season. We debated if it was Memphis, and they did win in Memphis without Kawhi. But I'm thinking this is more meaningful because this is closer to what you'll see with lineups, with Kawhi playing. He'll be playing more minutes if this was a playoff game, but Clippers win 127-117 here at Intuit Dome over Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks. What a victory, Clipper Nation. They were down 5 when Kawhi Leonard left this ball game. But the will of this team, the ability to refuse to lose, was at a very high level tonight. Couldn't be more proud of this Clippers ball club. I'm Adam Osland. You're listening to your post-game show here on AM 570 LA Sports. Still to come, we got Clippers Talk, 866-987-2570, 866-987-2570 is the phone number. Let's get to second half highlights. Clippers were down by 1 at the half. It was 59-58 Milwaukee, and in that third quarter, as I mentioned it, when Kawhi hit his minutes restriction, ended up at 24 minutes and 58 seconds or something. He was right under 25. I was wrong with that prediction. I thought they might get extended tonight. It's okay. It's all right. They found a way anyways. And one of the biggest reasons was this stretch here, and this was the biggest reason. James Harden in the third quarter going off. James Harden scored 15 straight points for the Clippers in that third quarter, immediately after Kawhi Leonard had to exit this ball game. And the Clippers led 94-93 as Gary Trent Jr. hit a three-pointer near the end of the third. Clippers were up by 1 at 94-93 heading into the fourth. In the fourth quarter, need another takeover? How about Norman Powell? How about that? Carlo Jimenez on the call. Norman Powell with 14 of his 33 points in the fourth quarter, just going head first towards the rim. I said while it was happening, he was hell bent on getting downhill. That's what it looked like out there. I'm so proud of this ball club as they win by 10 over the Milwaukee Bucks. They end the longest active winning streak in the NBA. It was held by the Bucks. They had just won 5 straight. They had a day off. They had Giannis. They had Dame. The Clippers still had Kawhi on a minutes restriction. They didn't have Chris Dunn, and they just figure it out. What a ball club. What a win. Best victory of the season. Best game in the regular season by James Harden in a Clippers uniform. Coming up next, your final box score. Clippers win 127-117 here at Intuit Dome over the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Ooh, I love this comment from Kaylee. It's like the exact opposite of how bad Yawning Tears' comment was. Did you see Kawhi's plus minus? Do you know how plus minus works? I'm sorry he wasn't on the floor when James Harden scored 15 straight points. He wasn't on the floor in the fourth when the backups helped them pull away in this game. This was such a disciplined victory. 7 turnovers, season low. That is focus. That is everything we wanted to see after the second half against Washington. I said, they come out, they end up beating the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm good with it. This is such a stupid argument by Yawning Tears. Like, the depths of the ridiculousness of looking at plus minus on a game-to-game basis is so incredibly flawed. It's incredible. Like, if you think Kawhi was holding them back, or they'd only be down by 1, like, yeah, they were able to survive the last 18 minutes without him. If you think they could have survived 30 more, imagine how this game would have started without Kawhi. Like, they're down 1 at the half. They were down. I can't help some people. Like, honestly, I want to time out Yawning Tears so bad right now. Like, it's just in a game like this, and you're trying to make some argument like, oh, I don't know, guys, Kawhi had a bad plus minus. It is just so incredibly missing the mark. Like, watch games. If you think Kawhi Leonard, like, you don't understand. When Kawhi's out there, he's going up against the other team's best player, in Giannis. Giannis lost the plus minus late in the game when the Clippers pulled away. And there's some people who are struggling tonight. Not the Clippers. They win 127-117 over the Milwaukee Bucks. Some people in the comment section like, they still have to adjust to playing with Kawhi. His plus minus wasn't great tonight. Have you seen the offensive rating for them and the defensive rating in the 7 games that he has played so far and how much better they are with him on the floor overall? You cannot use plus minus on an individual game basis. It does not always line up. You have to understand who's on the floor for the other team when Kawhi is out there. You have to understand runs that happened and who was responsible for them, and just watch the film. My goodness. Clippers win this ball game by 10, and some people, they just have to find a way to be negative about something. I don't get it. It's their biggest victory of the season. I'm going to celebrate it. This Clippers team, impressive. And Kawhi Leonard in that third quarter with the behind the back spin move on Dame and Giannis to the reverse left-handed layup. Incredible. He kept them afloat till Harden just went radioactive, as Brian Seaman would say, and scored 15 straight points. They were down by 5 when Kawhi left the ball game, and they ended up winning the last 18 minutes big. Why? Well, Milwaukee had to deal with James Harden and Norman Powell going off. James Harden was 17 in the third, 15 straight points. Norman Powell with 14 in the fourth. Kawhi ended up with 18 on 8 of 17 shooting in his 24 minutes, 4 assists, playing defense on Giannis Antetokounmpo from the get-go. I didn't expect that. I thought it'd be DJ or Zoo on him, and Kawhi was on him immediately. And he had a really good defensive possession in the third quarter where he got foul, or where they called a foul on him, on Giannis. I didn't agree with the call. A lot of things went against the Clippers. Giannis stepped out of bounds on a play. They started the clock too early on an inbounds play and an ATO where James Harden hit a three. He should have 43 points tonight. They literally started the clock early, and they took that away from the Clippers. They lost out on 5 points that went against them because of bad calls, definitively, and they still win the ball game by 10. It's just, yeah, some other people in the chat here on Clippers talking about, yeah, Norm Powell was a -5. So he was bad in the game. You have to understand the context of a plus-minus. Your best players are going up against the other team's best players. You want to know how the Clippers got up in this game? They won it going small in the fourth quarter. First, it was James Harden in the third going for 15 straight for the Clippers. Then early in the fourth quarter, they stayed small against Brook Lopez, and they won those minutes. They were scrappy defensively. DJ came in for Nico early. I thought Nico had an off night. And they were flying around defensively and went small. But how many people are going to give Coach Lue credit for going small and winning that way? Now Yanni Tears, who's nitpicking Kawhi's plus-minus rating in a one-off, is saying, I'm literally just pointing out a stat, and you guys are having a meltdown. Like, we're literally just pointing out context and how flawed that stat is. That's all we're doing. And you want to be Debbie Downer after the Clippers win 127 to 117? Go do it somewhere else, man. We're understanding how the Clippers won this game and how good Kawhi Leonard looked tonight. There's stuff out here tonight that translates to the playoffs. That's why I'm so excited about this victory by the Clippers. How many people said Norm can't do it against a good defense? The Bucks have had the second best defense over the last 10 games, only to the Clippers. It's incredible how good this Clippers team played tonight with only 7 turnovers. They end up shooting 45% from the field. I think they were at 35% at the half. They go just 11 of 34 from the outside, but the offensive rebounds, the second chance points where they had 24 of them, out rebounding Milwaukee overall. The Bucks having 13 turnovers. The Clippers turned that into 23 points. So impressive. So impressive out there. Some people want Debbie Downer sent to MySpace. I'm thinking about it. All right. Clippers' next ball game is coming up in Phoenix on Monday. Tipping off against the Suns at 6:30. Pre-game show starting at 5:30. Outside of Los Angeles, we're leaving you until then. But coming up next, do not go anywhere. We got Clippers talk. Bro, I mentioned plus minus when it lines up with the eye test. Do you think Kawhi Leonard looked bad out there tonight? Yes or no? Like in a one-game situation, I use it when it matches the eye test, when it makes sense, when you can say, okay, this player was definitely responsible for what happened, for the reasoning behind why he has a plus or why he has a minus out there. Like I don't know how to explain it to you. Like you don't watch ball, you don't watch the film, you don't watch the tape. You have to understand who's on the court, who you're playing next to for plus minus, and who you're playing against out there. And when runs happened. And by the way, nobody wants to hear that stuff tonight. I don't know, guys. This is concerning about Kawhi. He had a negative plus minus. Are you kidding me? The team's offense with him on the floor has been like a 120 offensive rating, Yanni Tears. Look at the on-off numbers. Yanni Tears is just, you're literally putting everything into this 1 plus minus and not considering they're 6-1 when Kawhi plays so far, and not considering what their offensive rating is when Kawhi's on the floor so far, which is way better than it's been all season. Can somebody help him? I can't deal with it anymore. I can't. It's so. I'm sorry, man. It's low level stuff, and it's a damper on tonight. Like, it is a dark cloud. Like, we don't need it. Go look at the on-off numbers for Kawhi Leonard on the season now. Go look at their offensive rating when he's on the floor. Like, my God, they have to adjust him on offense. They haven't had to at all because he's just blended in perfectly. They have been way better offensively with him out there, like definitively. Not just eye test, not just plus minus. Offensive rating, it's definitive. Well, nothing runs like a deer, right? Well, the Bucks are running out of here with a loss as the Clippers win 127-117 over the Milwaukee Bucks here at Intuit Dome as they capture their best victory of the season. And James Harden just had his best regular season game as a member of the Los Angeles Clippers, dropping a 40 spot, should have been 43. They took 3 points away from him, started the clock a little bit too early here in the fourth quarter as the Clippers were pulling away. They win 127-117 by 10 over the Milwaukee Bucks. This is Clippers Talk. I'm Adam Osland. Welcome in. If you're a new listener, maybe subscribe to the channel at Clippers Talk on the YouTube side. James Harden, the bearded wonder, took over and won this game for the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard, I'm going to find the exact spot he goes out in the third quarter because there was a foul on the floor. Was it the foul on Giannis Antetokounmpo by him that I thought was a pretty weak call, I would say, in the third quarter? Kawhi Leonard ends up, yeah, it was that foul on Giannis, who was not missing from the charity stripe early. Now, the Clippers win 28-28, so we can't be complaining too much, I guess, about the Milwaukee Bucks, but they did go 30 of 34, and a guy that shoots 58% from the free throw line went 12 of 15 in Giannis Antetokounmpo. Incredible. Kawhi Leonard exits the ball game for Nico Batum at the 3:45 mark of the third quarter. The Clippers are down 84-79 by the Clippers' next possession. They are down by 5. And James Harden just starts cooking. He knew he had to take over, and he did completely. For people that don't like Harden ball, I guess you don't get to celebrate stuff like this. He hits a jumper. He hits a 3. It's 86-84. A floater ties it now at 86. Lopez hits a 3. Milwaukee's back up by 3. Harden crossover on Gary Trent Jr., who just got absolutely exposed by James Harden in this game, and also KPJ in the first half with that spinning move around him. He gets a floater on him. There's 9 straight points by James. Shakes him again, misses a 3. Giannis goes back to the line where he lived tonight, went 1 of 2. Then a Harden and 1 on a floater. It's 91-90. Harden gets a steal, but Amir travels on the other end. I mean, defensively, he got back and got a steal right afterwards. It's takeover on both ends by James Harden. Then he hits a step back on Gary Trent Jr., and the Clippers are up 94-90 with just seconds remaining in the third. Trent got him back. Gary Trent Jr. hit one. It's 94-93 entering the fourth quarter. Clippers up by 1 as they were down by 1 at the half, 59-58. Here's who they went with to start the fourth quarter. For all you people that hate going small and say Coach Luz falls in love with it, it never works, were you paying attention tonight? They start the fourth with Amir, Batum, KPJ, Mann, and Powell. Now, Dame hits a tough bucket to put Milwaukee up first, 95-94. Nico airballs a 3. He was having a bad night. Lillard to the line. Then, in for Nico comes Derrick Jones Jr. It's 97-94 Bucks. KPJ, I think, hit a really big jumper at that point. We'll talk about his defense coming up. So now the Clippers are down by 1. Lopez misses a floater. Norm to the line. Puts the Clippers up 1 at 98-97. Dame and 1 on Amir Coffey. Tough call, tough shot. He got it. Thought it was Dame time. That put him up 100-97 on the Clippers. Make it 198 on the Clippers. Milwaukee up by 2. KPJ has a steal, and Norm has a huge two-handed dunk on the other end. That was the impetus. That's what got Norman Powell started. We're tied at 100. Amir misses a 3, but what a putback by Derrick Jones Jr. Fighting, battling for offensive rebounds all night, this Clippers team. They ended up with 12 of them. I love that hustle, that hard out there. You're going small. Brook Lopez is out there. Everybody's got to ramp up their intensity, fight harder. The Clippers are up by 2 at 102-100. Then DJ clamps Middleton on the other end. But KPJ would miss a layup, the Clippers' next possession. Then man to the rim as he gets blocked by Lopez. Then KPJ gets another steal on Gary Trent Jr. Man misses a 3, and Amir Coffey has the rebound and putback, doesn't get it, but he's fouled. Great hustle play. Hits both free throws. Do I even have to say that? The Clippers were 28 of 28 at the free throw line tonight. They're up 104-100. KPJ steal, or at least the ball ended up in his hands. Norm layup to his left. Clippers are up by 6. They have their biggest lead of the ball game now at 106-100. When they had so much trouble getting separation, every time it felt like they were going to get some, Milwaukee would hit a 3 on the other end and respond, go the other way. So now the Clippers are up 106-100 at the 7:26 mark of the fourth. The Clippers are still small. The Bucks call a full timeout. The Clippers do not bring back in Ivica Zubac. They bring in James Harden. Giannis has a turnover as the Clippers were scrappy and going after him and trying to rip it away right out of the timeout. Greek Freak turnover. Harden gets fouled on a 3 as Damian Lillard wanted that rip-through move. Hey, James Harden has been doing this his entire career. He draws the foul on a 3. The Clippers are now up 109-100. Then Gary Trent turns it over with this Clippers scrappy small ball unit. They stay small with Amir, KPJ, Norm, Harden, and DJ. Norm misses a 3. KPJ offensive rebound, and Harden hits a 3 to put him up 112-100. The Clippers are up by 12. They were up by 6. They double it. After the timeout by Milwaukee, where they're down 6, by the time they call another timeout, the lead has been doubled by the Clippers. It's at 12. Now, Giannis is going hard to the basket. He gets fouled by Harden. It's an and 1. 114 to, what was it that time? No, 112-103. Amir hits a tough jumper. Just cool, calm, collected. Big shot by Amir. Giannis gets fouled by DJ intentionally now, who got the worst of that one. He misses 1. 114-104. DJ comes back, misses a layup. Giannis layup on Norm, but he stepped out of bounds on the left baseline. It was clear. The Clippers bench was up. They were wondering what was going on. So at that point, as it's 114-106, Coach Lou says, okay, small ball did their job. They got us up by 8, should have been up by 10, and he brings Big Zoo back in. Now it's Norman Powell's turn. Norm, floater to his right, 116-106. Taurean Prince did get a cherry-picking layup on the other end right afterwards. Clippers still up by 8. Norm, floater, 118-108. Giannis has an air ball going at Ivica Zubac, and Harden has an and 1 on a floater the other way. It's 121-108 Clippers. Lillard misses, and Harden and Norm both fight for the rebound against Giannis Antetokounmpo. Just incredible. Harden did go for a kill shot 3 early in the shot clock there. I didn't love it, but come on, what are we talking about? James Harden won him this ball game. He got called for a kick ball also I didn't love. It was actually a kick ball on DJ, but it was one of those where it was so incidental, I don't know if I would have called it. Giannis misses. Lopez tips it in, 121-110. Clippers still up by 11. Dame then gets free throws, and DJ fouls out. After it's 123-112 as the Clippers got some free throws the other way. But Harden would hit free throws and put them up 125-112. They're up 13. The Bucks, they called off the dogs. They eventually said enough. No mas. That's game. I mean, they got to stop where the Bucks missed a three-pointer. They played some phenomenal defense down the stretch. And Harden still hit that three-pointer that they started the clock early on in the fourth quarter. I mean, he should have had 43. This was his best game as a Clipper in the regular season. The Game 4 float goat game was incredible down the stretch of that one against Dallas last season. But considering Kawhi goes out and he just goes into complete takeover mode in the third quarter like that, scored 15 straight points for the Clippers. Unreal. Unbelievable. Biggest victory of the season, because the Memphis win was huge. And maybe in some ways you can say it was more impressive because they didn't have Kawhi. But I'm going to tell you this. To me, this game was more meaningful because they did have Kawhi. You saw some playoff rotation type of stuff. KPJ came in after DJ fouled out. Coach Lue trusts him more, and I think he earned it with how he played early in the fourth quarter. But you saw Harden and Norm have to take him home or keep him home here at Intuit Dome, although they're going out on the road on Monday in Phoenix. They had to win this thing without Kawhi against one of the best defenses in the league when I don't know if Harden has had a better 40 spot for the Clippers when it comes down to the defense you're going up against. When you account for how good the Bucks defense is, and Harden played that well, and Norman Powell, who has been taking a lot of grief from some of you people saying, oh, he can only do it against bad defenses. He had 14 of his 33 in the fourth. He pretty much said, enough with the jumpers. I'm going straight to the basket. Come hell or high water, I am getting downhill. I am getting to the rim. I love that mentality. We're going to do it the hard way. We're not going to settle and let this game get away from us. We're going to win this by being physical, by scoring 58 points in the paint against one of the best teams when it comes to paint points against. We're going to win this with the hustle and second chance points, 24 by the Clippers. The offensive rebounds, just awesome. Couldn't be happier after a game like this. For this team, for James Harden, for Norm. I thought when Ivica Zubac came back in, he did some work. I thought he was physical throughout the game in his minutes. He had some heavy possessions where it was just really physical, and he's leaning on the defense and making them pay and punishing them at the rim. I thought Kawhi had some really good moments. You can tell every time lately when he's about to hit his minutes limit, he starts taking more shots. He starts saying, okay, we got to get the most out of my talent right now. I only have a few more minutes out there. What can I do to help this team right now? Just awesome. But the level of professionalism in this game with only turning it over 7 times, the level of discipline, as Kaylee in here pointed out at Clippers Talk on YouTube, really, really impressive victory by the Clippers. We'll take a quick time out. We'll come back. We'll take your phone calls, 866-987-2570, 866-987-2570. I'm Adam Oslin, and you're listening to Clippers Talk here on AM 570 LA Sports. Oh, my God. Get in my ear if we have that many breaks, if we're getting down at 11. So we're getting out at 11? Oh, boy. Yeah, I didn't see the text. I know Norman Powell, guys. What more do you want? What more do you want? He should be an all-star. He's out there. I'm sure people are pushing him to campaign a little bit more for it. He's not normally a guy that likes talking about himself, but you have to. You have to. You got to sell yourself. That's why you've seen him on ESPN, multiple podcasts this season. Guys, that was an awesome victory by your Clippers. Just the adversity they had to face. They're down 11 in the first quarter. DJ fouls out. Kawhi's out midway through the third, or about the 4-minute mark of the third. They know Kawhi's out the rest of the game, and they're down 5. They go plus 15 the rest of the way. Yeah, it's the best W of the season. I've said it like 5 times. LA Confidential. Good movie. Now some of you are saying, why gamble with the trade? It's like I'm not doing this I'm not putting everything into one game. But overall, this team is so together. It's about not making a big move to me, and I don't think you should do that anyways because we still don't know about Kawhi's health day to day. That's basically what he said he's at now. That's how you have to approach it. You just never know. Clippers out rebound Milwaukee 47-42. When it comes to offensive rebounding, 12-5, and they have 24 second chance points to just 13 from the Milwaukee Bucks as the Clippers win 127-117 here at Intuit Dome. I'm Adam Osland. This is Clippers Talk. Quick segment here as this Clippers team, I believe, just got their biggest victory of the season when you take into account the opponent, the adversity they had to deal with. No Kawhi the last 16 minutes of this ball game. James Harden takeover mode in the third. Norm takeover mode in the fourth. Role players stepping up, getting big buckets, offensive rebounds, steals, KPJ in the fourth. Just an incredible amount of heart by this Clippers team and talent. But that rebounding battle, because it comes down to this, guys. The Clippers ended up getting up 18 more shots than the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, the Bucks took 6 more free throws than the Clippers, but the Clippers took 18 more shots. So, even when they weren't shooting it well in the first half, when they were under 40%, well under it, they got up 10 more shots. They had 9 offensive rebounds, I want to say, in the first half. Great to see. Against the team that I believe, as of yesterday when I did the preview, was number 1 in defensive rebounding percentage. They close out possessions, the Milwaukee Bucks. That's what they do. They don't let you get offensive rebounds. Tonight, the Clippers said, we don't care. We're getting 12 of them because we have to. Because that's what it's going to take to win this game. They win by 10. 127-117 is your final here at Intuit Dome. Quick timeout. I'm Adam Osland, coming right back here on Clippers Talk on AM 570 LA Sports. Yeah, I think you could still make the argument that they could use a more reliable backup big, a more consistent backup big. I think that's clear. Coach Lou is not trusting Mo Bamba in these games. Kai's back in the G League. Kobe didn't play. He played 1 minute, sorry. If they could find a way to get Robert Williams or Jonas Valanciunas, I would take Chris Boucher, but he's on the thinner side. But you can't give up a first-round pick, and you don't want to give up Terrence Mann. Now, Terrence Mann's your biggest trade asset, probably, if we're being honest. Yeah, people are saying only give up a big. Now, this is why this game was bigger than the Memphis game, to me. This is more indicative of how you have to win a playoff game. And they didn't have Kawhi against Memphis. And you can make the argument, well, that's why it's a better win, Adam. But I'm looking at what projects into the playoffs. Like, if you don't have Kawhi in the playoffs, you're not winning. I'm looking at tonight as kind of a test run of the way you could do some things if it was a playoff game, because it felt like that tonight, the way these teams were playing with the level of physicality and urgency out there. I mean, both coaches had used up their challenges in the first half. Maybe not all of them, but they were valuing possessions, only 7 turnovers. And yeah, Kawhi will get back to regular minutes. God willing, he stays healthy here. Yeah, Bamba being a DNP tonight against this team, like, he should be a decent matchup against Brook, but they went small to start the fourth. It worked. Clippers win 127-117 over the Milwaukee Bucks here at Intuit Dome. It was the third 40-point game of the season for James Harden, but this was, I think, his most impressive regular season performance as a member of the Los Angeles Clippers, as he carried them in that third quarter when Kawhi Leonard went out, scoring 15 straight points and also having 9 assists to only 1 turnover. The Clippers were not careless with the basketball. They averaged 16 turnovers per game. It might be 17 right now. They had 7. They cut the turnovers down by 10. And that's what you have to do against very good teams to win the possession battle. That and board. And they had 12 offensive rebounds to Milwaukee's 5. Just an incredible, incredible performance. James Harden, guys, was 3 for 10 with 12 points in the first half. The second half, he was 9 of 14 with 28 points, including 17 points in the third, 11 in the fourth. He and Norman Powell combined for 25 of the Clippers' 33 points in the fourth quarter. What a victory. Quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll close things out. Clippers in Phoenix on Monday night. They go 3-2 in this 5-game, 7-night schedule that they've had to deal with, where they just had a 4-5, and they go 3-2. So impressive. Just awesome. More Clippers talk next here on AM 570 LA Sports. Oh, by the way, guys, Ivica Zubac, his 19th double-double in his last 28 games. And he bodied Giannis and Brook at times. He had some really big plays, forceful plays at the basket. And Giannis threw up an air ball in the fourth quarter. As soon as Zoo came back in, when they went away from going small, I think at the right time, you ride it for a while. Okay. Giannis was starting to play with urgency going downhill, get Zoo in, and he had him shooting an air ball. Dame and Giannis shot all but 2 of Milwaukee's free throws tonight. That's incredible. The last time the Clippers starting guards had 30-plus points was back in 2016 against OKC. Jamal Crawford had 32, so did Austin Rivers. That's the last time their starting guards had 30-plus points. Tonight, Norm and James Harden combined for 73. 73. Man, I love this Clippers squad. I'm deeply falling in love with this Clippers group. Yeah, they're 6-1 with Kawhi. Let me close things out. I'll explain something to Yanni Tears. Now, I don't think this has been updated yet, but with Kawhi on the court, they have an offensive rating of 126. I think that is including tonight's game. Clippers win 127-117 over the Milwaukee Bucks. Quick final segment here. We'll have you, of course, Monday night when they're in Phoenix taking on the Suns. pregame show starting at 5:30. But the way we started the show off, somebody was saying that, oh, they still have to adjust to Kawhi on offense. Oh, they don't look right. He was a minus tonight offensively. I don't know what game he was watching. I understand. Technically, he was a minus. The plus minus is deeply flawed over one game samples. You have to contextualize it. So the Clippers' offensive rating with Kawhi on the season is, and I believe this includes tonight's ball game, 126. Their offensive rating with Kawhi on the court is 126. The Cleveland Cavaliers have the best offensive rating in the league, and it's 121. Oh, but what's the defensive rating with them, Adam? Do they have to adjust? Their defensive rating with Kawhi Leonard on the floor this season is 92.6. The best defensive rating in the league is 103.7. The OKC Thunder. Jordan shrug. I guess Kawhi is helping, huh? It's not just the raw numbers. They're 6-1 with him. If you don't trust offensive and defensive rating, well, good luck analyzing basketball in the year 2025. Clippers win 127-117 over the Milwaukee Bucks, get their biggest victory of the season. And James Harden just had his best regular season game as a member of the Los Angeles Clippers. Wearing red, we joked about it, was looking like his Houston days. Out there wearing those beautiful red uniforms. They're back. Oh, and this Clippers team went 3-2 over the 5-7 stretch. Now they'll make it 6 of their last 9 games as they are in Phoenix on Monday night. Before we get out of here, I do want to thank the Clippers organization. Steve Ballmer, Ralph Lawler, Brian Seaman, Noah Eagle, Carlo Jimenez on the call, Big Brother Jake Warner, our head engineer here, Chris Taylor, our lead statistician, back in the bank, our producer, Daniel West. I'm Adam Osland. Till next time, when the Clippers are in Phoenix Monday night with the pregame show starting at 5:30, we will talk to you then. Later, guys. Appreciate y'all. We'll have a show for you tomorrow. We'll go through all the post-game audio from this one. Be good. Be safe out there. I saw Darian Vaziri, my guy, tonight. That was good to see. Had a hug with Darian. Dime Dropper was here. So you knew the Clippers were going to win, right? Yeah. Lastly, I think that Kawhi Leonard guy is pretty good at basketball. We'll talk to you guys back here on Clippers Talk. Subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the likes. We'll be here tomorrow as this was 113th or the 113th straight day we've had a show for you. I'm getting tired.